Good afternoon. I picked up one of these last night. That is a hi Loki. Have you come to visit while I'm making this little video? Hmm? Hi. Hi, I'm doing stuff, Loki. You're just gonna sit. You're gonna help. He's very helpful. So I picked up one of these last night. This is I think the Gen 2 of the Viktor Berbekucz Finnish vet. And I got it because I picked it up from somebody I train with. And it's interesting. It doesn't feel bad. It feels like it almost feels good. It's a cheap sword. And for working out the kinks, it's developed a little bit of a bad rap. And part of this is honestly me wanting to kind of show what's going on here, because he's actually got some really interesting stuff going on. I'm not going to talk too much about the handling or what have you, but just basic specs. The overall length is 51 7/8. Blade length 37 7/8, and hilt length 14 inches. Total hilt length is 14 inches. Total grip length is about 11 1/4 inches. So if you're somebody who's taller, has larger hands, and overall has a little bit of difficulty with fetters that have smaller hilts, This is overall. I like it I like the size of this quite a bit. But getting back down to business, this hilt is a little bit interesting, and that's where that's kind of the problem child of this sword. The alloy on this, by the way, is 50 CRV4. It's European spring steel. Is just about equivalent to the steel that Pavel Motz uses in his Finnish vets, and I have one of those, and I love it to death. But yeah, just about the same spring steel. I like this steel quite a bit. I like the way it behaves. And right back to this. Okay, so biggest complaint that people have about this is, and you can feel that rattle. You can hear that rattle going on here, and that's coming from a couple of different places. There's a couple of reasons for this, which we are going to get into. You'll see, first and foremost, it is a screw pommel. By the way, 5mm hex key, by the way, is the tool for this. He does a thing here that I like very much. Here's where he's got this socket going here. Now you notice this still doesn't come off. This exists to lock the actual pommel in place. The pommel itself does screw off. Like so. And now I will pull the grip off of here. I will pull the crossguard off of that. The whole thing actually, it's honestly a really quick and easy disassembly, and I kind of like that. So now let's get into the kind of interesting stuff that he's got going on here, and why I think he really is onto something with this, and that it just needs a little more development. I loosened the leather here a little bit, and it kind of started it got difficult to get back into the pommel. So I just kind of removed that. This initially was really tight. It was honestly a very, very, really good snug fit, and I like the fact that he's got this mortise and tenon going here. It's good, it's solid, and I'm really a big fan of that method. method of assembly, because, well, I mean, I'm a carpenter. I like mortise and tenon joints. So before I pulled this leather off of here, this was actually really snug. Like I had to wiggle the pommel off of the handle. That was a really good joint. And I'm going to make another video in which I kind of strip the leather off of this and make a cut in this thing so we can see what all is going on and happening on the inside of this handle, because some of the rattling that we're getting is inside of this. And I've also heard the complaint that it's filling is difficult with this because of the fact that you don't have contact between the tang and the grip at all points, thereby making it a lot more difficult to feel where you are in the bind. But we have a similar situation going on up here, where we've got this kind of mortise and tenon going on with the cross guard. So the entire thing just sort of fits together like this, and for what we're going for here with this kind of quick, cheap, get it out there construction, I think this is really solid. I actually really like the design of this. However, some of the execution needs to be a little bit different. So on the crossguard, we've got this bit here, probably maybe water jet cut. It doesn't look like it's CNC cut. Could be water jet. Could be bandsawn. No, it's probably water jet. I CNCing with this would just take too fucking long. But there's some elliptical tube stock going on. Elliptical pipe stock going on over here, which that's about 29 mil by about 18 mil. And actually, an idea of the pommel is 17 millimeters across. So that's probably about where this tenon was. No, I'm sorry, that was not 17 millimeters across. I was reading the wrong thing. That is 22 millimeters across. And I've got, about 21.5 millimeters here, which is enough to get this much play if you don't have leather on it. However, with the leather on it, it was really snug. I had to, like I said, I really had to wiggle that off. So, got that bit welded to this bit. Whole thing comes together. And honestly, the entire thing just kind of rattles on there. Another shortcoming in the execution of this is just how loose all of this is over here. If you happen to know any bladesmiths, they'll tell you that if you have a bolster or a cross guard, this cutout needs to really be very snug. If it's not, then it just it gives rise to a lot of issues. So I'll fiddle around with this a little bit, try and get that fit in a little more snugly, because there's a lot of play in this. And so yeah, that's kind of the guts of the handle on this thing. Really starting to get into it. This is gonna be a fun project. I'm gonna cut a new handle, and I'll probably put a waist on it. Maybe have a little more girth on at least the top hand, because I'm used to using a Pablo Moss and I really like that sword. So where the hell was I? Hang on, coffee. Yes, I'm going to continue my takedown of this, just to, once again, I just like to take things apart and show what's going on. And I'll keep you all posted on my progress of these things.